Happy Monday. Oh man, the week go by so fast. So fast, so fast. Sorry guys, I'm having breakfast. Almost time for me to jump up and get out. Okay, you don't know we have to put our foot to the metal. You don't know we have to go out there and get ours in a pleasant way, rightful way, and an honest way. So happy Monday and happy Black History Month. Seriously. What are you doing with your black self? And if you believe in black history, what are you adding to the black history? Having family wealth, part of your blackness, or coming together as in black folks. Nevertheless, happy Monday again. And like I said, it's Black History Month right there. And not only that, guys, happy Monday on the board. This is your Monday morning reminder that you can handle whatever this week throws at you. You better believe it. So nevertheless, guys, greatly and surely we're out here with another content and a great content. Crime against humanity. Former operations manager of Prichard water system pleads guilty to fraud scheme. In this day and age, well, Donald Trump is in power. Could you imagine? So Naya Bradley pleads guilty to federal charges, which, like I said, she is the manager, okay? Former operation manager of Prichard water system pleads guilty to fraud scheme. So let's unpack that greatly. I also have the audio for you guys. So let's talk about it. So basically, she was charged to conspiracy to commit mail bank and wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, money laundering conspiracy, wire fraud 1 count, bank fraud 1 count, and filing a false tax return 1 count. Lord have mercy. Child. Okay, so let's unpack the story greatly. The former operation manager of the water system that serves Prichard and Chickasaw pleaded guilty Friday to federal charges, making the culmination of investigation that began nearly 4 years ago with raids on utility headquarters and the home of Naya Bradley. Friday represented by the pivotal moment in a case that federal prosecutor say involved orchestrated schemes costing the Prichard board millions of dollars, funds that may have pushed the utility to default at $55 million loan. Naya Malika Bradley took responsible for a multi-layered conspiracy that prosecutors allege enriched her and others. Bradley, who served as an operation manager of the Prichard Water Works and Sewer Board until her resignation in April 2021, pleaded guilty too. So therefore, guys, they've been investigating this situation for a while, okay? 4 years they've been investigating the situation, and they keep on putting on the pressure. There was a raid of the lady that I showed you guys on the screen home until she come out and said, yep, I pled guilty. Guilty I am. Yes, I am. You caught my hand in the cookie jar. Now, what is she pled guilty to? Conspiracy to commit mail bank and wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, money laundering conspiracy, wire fraud 1 count, bank fraud 1 count, and filing a false tax return 1 count. My God. So like I said, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. I know that I'm lacking of my blogging and I'm lacking of coming to give you guys the content every morning, but I'm trying. Remember, I am busy out of YouTube space, and I also got my family, and I also got other things handling, guys, so bear with me. I'm only one person, and like I said, I'm not an octopus, and I only have 1 mouth, 2 hands, and 2 feet. So at the end of the day, I have to make sure that mind over matter, and I have to deal with things that is important first. And I'm not saying you guys are not important, but there's a lot of important stuff that I have to deal with before I come and sit down here for an hour and an hour, a little bit, or half an hour, or in between that hour. So I want to say again, happy Black History if you celebrate that. And we're going to start with this quote. If you can fly, then run. If you can run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whenever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King on the board. Okay, so back to happy Monday, and let's unpack the rest of the content. Prosecutors say Bradley defrauded the utility approximately $2.5 million. Naya has accepted responsibility. Like I said, she pled guilty for what she did, and she admitted to what she did from day one, said Chalea Tinsdale Bradley, defense lawyer. or attorney. I think there have been some allegation and accusation of things she did that she did not do. And those are things we have worked out during this process. Investigation reveals. The investigation began, like I said, early 2022 with a federal raid at the Water Board headquarters in Prichard days later. So the FBI been investigating, and they did a big raid at her home and also at the Water Board headquarters. When the FBI has to come to the workplace and raid plus your home, we're in trouble. Oh, we have trouble, my friend. Way in. We have troubles, my friend. Way in. Yo, if they have to come to your work and your home, we're in serious trouble. Let's unpack. All right? So like I said, days later, investigators search Bradley home in West Mobile, like I said, removing thousands of consumers' goods that authorities said she purchased with the utility-issued credit card. Oh no. Nike and Adidas shoes, Louis Vuitton bags, and other high luxury items. Mighty God, we serve. They always say they cannot trust a lot of us with credit cards. They also say a lot of us can't even trust our own self with our own credit cards, because they always say a lot of us that don't know what credit holds, how important credit is, we don't have good credit. What do you say? Is your credit intact? Oh no. That you have to use your workplace credit card. Come on now. Her utility issued credit card. Now remember, this is for the business. Included, she bought Nike, she bought Adidas shoes, she bought Louis Vuitton bags, and she also bought other high-end luxury items. While federal courts documents focus on other aspects of fraud, court records indicate approximately $30,000 in repairs was charged to the card for her rental home, Bradley owned with co-defendant Randy Burden through their company B&B Enterprise Group. So here you are using your company credit card to buy all of these luxury brands plus to repair your home. Ladies, seriously? Oh, I can't even say allegedly, because they say some of the story is true and some is not, and she pled guilty and she took a responsible for some. So where do we meet in the middle, people? Should we still shout allegedly? Okay, allegedly. Even if the facts are right here in her face. Bop. You understand? Let's continue. The multi-layered scheme. Court records reveal conspiracy involved 2 board members and 3 outside contractors, with prosecutor asserting that Bradley was the mastermind. The fake company scheme. Prosecutors say Bradley, Ayanna, Payton, a board member at the time, to recruit friend Stephanie Hunt to establish a fake company that billed the utility just over $1 million. My God, for work never performed. You know what's so disturbing? Stick up in there. A lot of us know that we're not going to retire in our jobs. A lot of us know that when we hit our 40s and hit our late 40s, going into 50s, we would have to start all over when it comes to jobs. So can you have a job like that with a big responsibility that they even trusted you with a credit card, and you find yourself in hot water, and on top of it, you're wrong and strong and you pled guilty? Oh, my God. That's why a lot of these jobs are remaining out here. People don't trust us. It's a company credit card. You're only supposed to use it when it comes to the company. Not on your home, not on Louis V, not on Adidas, not on Nike. Seriously, let's continue. So we stopped at, we basically stopped at performing work to her rental properties, guys, and all of those things that she did. All right? Both Payton and Hunt previously pleaded guilty, like I said, so they took responsibility for their action. We have to give them that. But it's still fraud. Nowhere in the world you'll be trusted with fraud on your hands, on your criminal record. So you kick yourself in your ass, seriously, and shoot yourself in your foot. Nobody wants a fraud charge. It's the worst thing you could ever have on your criminal record. But nevertheless, let's continue, all right? According to prosecutors, Bradley Payton and a second board member named and the conspirator each received 30% of these funds, with Hunt receiving the remaining 10%. the rental property repairs. Bradley also admitting to arranges for two companies to perform work on our rental properties owned by B&B Enterprise with these expensive, fraudulent bills to the water board. My God. Bradley also admitting, okay, she also admit that, guys, so you have to give her that. A third outside contractor, so incomplete system repairs. A third outside contractor pleaded guilty to receive utility payments for system repairs he never completed. A portion of that money went to Bradley and Burden. Oh my. So like I said, related guilty pleas. Randy Burden, co-defendant B&B Enterprise Group owner, pled guilty last week. Steve Jones, the contractor, pled guilty on Monday. Ayanna Payton, former board member, previously pleaded guilty. And Stephanie Hunt, company operator, previously pleaded guilty. So it's one cahoots, cockamania, fraudster on the Department of Water. Big trust issue that. Okay, let's continue. Then the tax fraud component. The tax fraud count to which Bradley pleaded guilty involves a 2021 Form 1040 that understood her income by more than $140,000. All right. So now this is a community impact, and it impact the community. All right. One Prichard resident expressed the sentiment of many affected by the scheme. Right and right, wrong is wrong, said Gabriel, a Prichard resident. What Nia Bradley did is a crime against humanity. She's really single-handed bankrupt this utility. Without water, then what? The water is vital. We have to have it. I hope everything works out for the citizens. You know what's so disturbing and troubling? Let me throw this monkey wrench in the way. There was a story in the States. I can't remember the states, but I remember the story vivid, where there was poison in the water and a lot of people got sick. A lot of people died as well. I can't remember the states, but once I get it done pack, I will come back and unpack that story, or come and revive that story rather. And until now, none of the big persons that knew that the water wasn't right and wasn't doing anything with the water, until now they weren't locked up in the States. And a lot of people had rashes, a lot of people had health issues, a lot of people end up dying, and a lot of people couldn't even drink that water. Remember that water situation where a lot of folks was sick because of the water, and until now they haven't locked up those people. So you have all kind of people that are killing off people with the water. The water is sicking people and all that. And nobody don't get locked up. I knew about the water. But here comes a scheme like this, and she get locked up. And prosecutor is investigating for 4 years. But yet still nobody can investigate the other water situation that end up killing off a lot of people. Anyways, let's continue. Putting the number in perspective. The underscore and the severity of the fraud. The 2.5 million defrauded from the utility exceeds the amount the water system shorted on its bond repayment fund. All right. The very shortfall that prompted a judge to declare the system on a default on its loan. So they basically almost run the water utility company to bankruptcy. Remember, I tell you this. What next? Bradley's sentencing is July 9, 2026. So let me give you a little bit of the story. Remember, this lady and her team, okay, and her scammers, okay, contractors and all, were being investigated for 4 years. They raided the workplace and then raided the lady's home. And everything came raveling. And when they caught her red-handed with the Adidas and the Louis Vuitton and all of these great stuff that everybody likes, she ended up pleading guilty with her rest of her folks pled guilty. So it's not like the feds are coming to say, hey, you did this and we're going to prove this shit in court. It's an open and shut case because they all pled guilty for fraud, income tax fraud, and all kind of nonsense right now. Okay, so let's continue. So what happened next? July 9th, we're going to be on this case because, you know, when we drop a case, we don't finish with the case until we can give you the ending of this, the conclusion. All right? We don't finish with the case until we can say, yeah, people, they're guilty, they're found guilty, or they're going to prison for this such and such a time. So we're on the case. So when July 9th come, 2026, like we're in 2026 now, but we're in February, Black History Month. When I come in July and say, guys, this is the amount of time she got, remember I dropped the story. And I'm just going to revive the story and give you the update on the story like how I always do. I'm always true to my blogging, but late for my blogging and sometimes shortfall on my blogging. Don't hold me to that. When I come with the stories, they're always true. They always make sense and it's happening now. So we're not riding off of anyone's back. We're riding off of people's situation that they did and pled guilty or in a situation of embodied of a court. Okay? Let's unpack. So July 9th, the case continued to highlight vulnerabilities, utility oversight, and devastating consequences fraud can have an essential service and communities that depend on it. So this is water, people, and you need water daily in and out. In many first world country, you cannot drink water from the sky and put it in a drum like a third world country. A lot of places, when you have rivers and those things, you got to be mindful how you drink the water. In our water nowadays days, they add salt to the water. If you work in many places and you see what the maintenance men do, and you see the maintenance with a bag some kind of salt, and when you go hide and look at the maintenance, maybe the utility room or something, they're pouring salt in the water. Salt or inner water, they claim, to make the water drinkable, to make the water soft, to make the water feel good on your skin, and to wash your dishes and the whole nine. So we're not drinking natural water, people. And although we boil the water at times, still not natural. And although we drink water bottles, we don't know if it's safe, allegedly. So these people need water. So with this ism and schism, it's not a good look in the community of this water scheme and water fraud. So from there, guys, I am going to give you the audio of this fraud case where Randy Burden, Steve Jones, Ayanna Payton, Stephanie Hunn, company operator, pled guilty. Ayanna Payton, former board member, Steve Jones, the contractor, and Randy Burden, the co-defendant. You see how much people pled guilty in this water crisis? Oh no. What are they charged for, people? It's a multi-layer scheme. What happened, people? What occurred, people? Conspiracy to commit mail, bank, and wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, money laundering conspiracy, wire fraud 1 count, bank fraud 1 count, and filing false tax return 1 count. Come no man. We have troubles, my friend. Wait, not only that, guys, they raided the workplace and also raided the home. So we got troubles, my friend. Yes, right now. So when July come around, we'll give you the whole conclusion of this case. So let's go to the audio. Please and thank you and bear with me. Yes or no? All right? 1 second. Good morning, Morgan. Thanks for stopping by. 1 second. Ready, guys. Ready up.
A former water utility stealing nearly $2.5 million from the system that serves Prichard in Chickasaw. Our Ashley Mitchell has more on this major development.
Friday was the day of reckoning for Nia Malika Bradley. The former operations manager of Waterworks and Sewer Board pleaded guilty to multiple federal charges, including conspiracy to commit fraud, money laundering, and filing a false tax return. Prosecutors say Bradley orchestrated schemes that defrauded the utility of almost $2.5 million. Fraud that may have pushed the system into default on a $55 million loan. Defense attorney Shalia Tisdale says her client is taking responsibility.
Nia has accepted responsibility for what she did, and she's not made any bones about that. She admitted to what she did from day one. I think there have been some accusations.
Active responsibility is using that credit card that they gave her with trust. That's responsibility. When somebody give you a credit card knowing that they're going to be looking back. Listen, a lot of us have power in workplaces. A lot of us have some kind of responsibility that they do give us, but they give us on a trust. When they won't look at our colleague that don't look like us and look at the receipts and look at what you pay for lunch and look at how much taxi you take and look at what you purchase, they're going to go back on your bills, your receipts. So if you have a job that you have a responsibility and they give you a credit card attached to that, you better believe that when you turn your back, they're looking at those receipts. That's how they caught her. They found out that so much money you're spending, not on the system of the water, but on in her own home and in her luxury brand, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Nike, and the whole nine. Not only that, she had contractors doing work and not finishing the work, so she got caught red-handed. Seriously, and it's troubling and disturbing because most of these jobs come with trust.
Allegations and accusations made about things that she did not do, and those are things that we've worked out, during the course of this.
The guilty plea caps an investigation that began in early 2022 with
What?
federal raids on the Water Board's headquarters and Bradley's West Mobile home.
Told ya.
Records show Bradley was the mastermind of a conspiracy involving 2 board members and 3 outside contractors. Prosecutors say she persuaded board member Ayanna Payton to recruit a friend to set up a fake company that billed the utility more than $1 million for work that was never done.
Wow.
Both previously pleaded guilty. Bradley also admitted to billing the water board for work done on rental properties she owned with co-defendant Randy Burden. One Prichard resident says justice is overdue.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. What Neil Bradley did was a crime against humanity.
Yep.
She really single-handedly, with including others, bankrupt this utility. Just without water.
Bankrupt it, bro.
What? The water is vibrant. We have to have it.
In Mobile, Ashley Mitchell, Fox 10 News.
Charges remain pending against the other 2 contractors.
Brother. So like I said, we want some great jobs, but when we do get some great jobs, we are trusted with the credit cards, trusted in the company. Now that you do this big fraud, you and your friends and your colleague, can a next person of color get a job like that? I am not sure. Remember, in the back of some of these people's mind, no matter how you're clean, no matter how you have no criminal record, no matter how you have a few things like how they do, they're still in the back of our mind thinking that we're thieves. We steal. We're no good. So with this water situation and the scheme and almost bankrupt the whole water system, knowing that the community depend on it, is shameful and it's disturbing. So she pled guilty, so we can't even say allegedly. So what's going to go on? I believe in July sometime, she's going to get a sentence. So let's see how much sentence she's going to get. And when she sit down in the prison, let's see if she could reminisce on the Louis Vuitton and the Adidas and the Nikes. Be mindful out here, people. When you have a job and they entrusted you, remember all of those receipts that you put in your file, written in your desk. People are going to look over those things, no matter what job you have. Remember, nowadays days out here, we're not trusted enough to do our job without someone go behind our back and look at those things and those paperwork. So when you really think about it, people out here doing their homework and they're checking up on you. And when they check up on you and see that there's something is not right, they're going to go start looking at your receipts, start looking at your spending, start looking at your budget, start looking at your credit card balance, and there you're going to be in trouble for fraud. All right? There was a situation, I won't say where. This lady was a place that helped black folks. Whether you have human rights case, it was almost like a legal clinic, almost, okay? Won't give you guys that much hint. And she was a black sister, and she was the head of it. She's the one that break a big case, and I won't say what case it is because you guys will know exactly where it is, yeah? And when the lady break the big case and help the person with that big case, her whole office came unraveling. What was the story? She was using the company credit card to buy lingerie and to buy all of these things. And that whole office was dismantled. And that whole office couldn't get any more government funding. And the whole people in the black community that depend on the office couldn't get the help that they need because of greed. So we got to be mindful and be truthful to the job that they have us here in. working, because when we get a credit card of that responsibility, we're going to be checked. Our receipt is always going to be looked over,
Bradley's
and
sentencing is set
anything
for July
else
9th. How to put the
is going to be looked over. So like I said, she'll be sentencing sometime in July, and we're going to be on that case like Matlock. Okay, guys? So that was a Prichard water system fraud scheme that's happening now. It's been investigated for 4 years now, and they finally get caught up to her right now, and she's going to be sentenced, she and her crew, sometime in July. All right, guys? From there, we're gonna move on and talk about some other things, because I gotta run sooner or later. I don't have all day, guys. I gotta run, man. Weekend is over, so free paper is all burned up. So just remember, it's Black History Month, okay? Black History Month. I will start with, Martin Luther King. Remember the quote as always. And we say it's Black History Month. Always remember your blackness no matter what, okay? Also, from there, guys, we're gonna remind you what is Black History Month for you. All right, people? So let's see if I could find it, and let's talk about this without you. I show you guys the audio will get it without getting a copyright strike. So give me some patience. Please listen to this audio. Okay? And then we'll go from there. Black History Month. All right? 1 second.
What does that actually mean? And why does it matter? In 1926, historian Carter G. Woodson founded
Back it
Negro
up.
History.
Sorry.
February is Black History Month. But what does that actually mean? And why does it matter? In 1926, historian Carter G. Woodson founded Negro History Week. Woodson, who held a PhD from Harvard, recognized something crucial. American schools were systematically erasing Black contributions from history. Textbooks either ignored Black achievement entirely or taught outright lies, that Black people were inferior, slavery was benevolent, and that they had contributed nothing worth remembering. Woodson knew that controlling history meant controlling the future. In 1976, during America's bicentennial,
I have to give you guys a green screen.
Expanded to Black History Month. President Gerald Ford urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the
I give you some and then.
neglected accomplishments of Black Americans. Each year, the association...
Guys, I have to put a screen in now and then because I don't want a copyright strike. But it's Black History, and if you know me, you know we started over here and we don't play with it. Right through the month and many other months, you hear me talk about blackness. You hear me talk about all different type of things. But this is the month that they claim that it's our month. We're Black every day. We're our situations out here every day. Go through blackness every day. Go through what they claim to bestow on us every day. So on this month, big up yourself on this month, and let's unpack. And I'm going to continue to give you guys screen. Some screen, no screen. Some screen, no screen, because I don't want a copyright strike. So happy Black History Month if you do celebrate that.
For the study of African American life and history, founded by Woodson, selects a theme. This year's theme is A Century of Commemorations, marking 100 years since that first Negro History Week in 1926. As a Catholic, I understand that there was a concerted effort to deprive all people, not just Black people, of this knowledge. Black History Month corrects that deprivation. When we commemorate Black contributions to the world, and especially the U.S., we enrich everyone. This February, join us as we celebrate a century of commemorations and discover stories that inspire, challenge, and transform.
Okay, so right there on the board, guys. So happy Black History Month, yes? And with the Martin Luther King, we're going to say again, if you can fly, then run. If you can run, then walk. If you can walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Okay, guys? So like I said, thank you guys for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. All right, guys? And then we also know that Beyonce, they claim made history from her first win to Destiny Child to awaited Cowboy Carter moment to each Grammy map how Beyonce kept redefining success. All right? So Beyonce had built a Grammy history that works. All right. Although Jay-Z find himself in some kind of things like, the football and all of these things where, a lot of black folks don't really have a chance, and the Colin Kaepernick nonsense and all of these craziness that with Jay-Z find himself in. Allegedly, they claim that Jay-Z is one mogul that don't give a shit about the black race, always find partnership in some stuff that hold on the black race, allegedly, all of those kind of things. But we still gotta give it to Beyonce. That's why we say allegedly, because we don't know if these things are true or not. And even if it's true, these people are very famous. So we gotta say allegedly now. So big up Beyonce out here doing the do. We also have other things that I want to speak about. Let me see if I could go in my thing. If not, I am really gonna jump off of this live because I don't want to really overwhelm you guys with this live. Now, let's go back on a story for a second. So we spoke about this story, and I said to you guys, since you're going to be in a courthouse and you're wearing your scarf and you end up getting beat up and banned, trespassing banned from a courthouse, and you are a lawyer. So in this day and age, 2026, a defense lawyer cannot go to court in peace without being assaulted by officers. When I drop the story, I talk about her scarf once. Let me ask you guys this question again, because I'm not running from the topic and I'm not trying to push blackness. But hear me out. If this lawyer claimed that she wrapped up her court case and wrapped up her trial, that means she's no longer in front of the judge. And if she had on this headscarf while she was going through trial and the judge didn't tell her to remove it, and it's the end of her trial and she's in an interview room wrapping up her paperwork, you have no right to go in there and tell her to take off her scarf, because she's not in front of the judge. She's not in the courthouse as in front of the court. Okay? So she has a right to be in the interview room with her scarf on her head. You're acting like she was disrespecting the judge. So moving back and going back on the story, they have no right to put their hands on her, slam her face on the desk, manhandle her and drag her out of the interview room and put her in the back, in the cell, showing her the only place you belong is in a cell and not a defense lawyer was wrong. And I hope she sued the hell out of these losers, although the money ain't gonna come out of their pocket. It's gonna come out of taxpayers' pocket like us. Have no right to put your hands on this black sister, to be honest. She had her scarf on her head. She wasn't in front of the judge. And if she wore the scarf in front of the judge, and the judge never told her to take it off, and the judge never tell her to get out the courtroom, then you have no right. Some of you guys like to abuse your privilege and your powers too much. So we're waiting to see what happened to this black sister. She was an attorney, wrapping up her trial, finished with her trial, sitting down in the interview room, taking a breath, taking a breather. When you finish a trial, what do? You take a breather. When you finish a trial, what do? You go over your paperwork. When you finish a trial, what do? You go over your paperwork to see what you need to submit from what you don't need to submit. What you need to wrap up from what you don't need to sign off for. Remember, some of them get paid from government and get paid from their client. So maybe she was going through all her paperwork before she go sit in her car and put away those important papers before she go home. As a lawyer, you're not supposed to be having your paper on the back seat and on the front seat and your briefcase open and all of these things. That's right of privacy when it comes to your clients and the paperwork. So you couldn't give the sister a grace? You couldn't give the sister time to wrap up her paperwork and then say to her, Madam, I know you're not in the courthouse, but your scarf is supposed to come off. I know you're on your way through the door. Just hurry up and go because you're not supposed to have on your scarf here. I'm sure she knows about her headscarf. She's been wearing that for ages as gone to the paper. So beating this sister and giving her trespassing notice not to come back to the courthouse, you're more than wrong. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to a defense lawyer, that's where they do most of their work, in the courthouse. What is your black sister supposed to do now? You beat her, you bloodied her face. You charge her for trespassing. This black sister supposed to take out money out of her firm, out of her pocket now to go pay a colleague to come and sit down on the behalf of her and her client? How dare you? So you guys don't like to see when black folks at times on the justice side, you guys only like to see them on the criminal side. So they could be in these prison, making all of these things that are not in these real factories out here. So they could be in prison for you guys to be making money off stocks and bonds. For them to be in prison. For you guys to be out here and having jobs and someone's downfall or downfall. Seriously. So we're on this case like Matlock. And we're not going to come off of this case until this black sister made whole, until she sue the hell out of you guys. The way I see it, she's a defense lawyer. She's going to be out here selling vagina. She's going to be out here like the rest of the girl them with their body and breasts. But she said beauty and then brains. Brains and then beauty. So how dare you? So we had to come and unpack and unravel the story one more time because I spoke about the story and it's on my page. Seriously. All right, people? So that was that part I had to really come back on and speak to you guys for a second, because at the end of the day, when you see nonsense like these, you're going to talk about it, because I spoke about the story and it's on my page. So if you care about it, go and listen to that as well. Now we're going to go all the way to Jamaica for a second. It has been a bloody weekend, but at the end of the day, what can we say? All right? So let's go Jamaica for a second with a massacre almost. All right, give me a second.
Tonight, deadly violence across Jamaica. 4 men killed in a brutal overnight rampage in Manchester.
So between 7:30 p.m. January 31st, 2026 and 3 a.m. February 1st, 2026, we were impacted by 3 incidents that resulted in 4 deaths within the parish.
And in St. Elizabeth, a
Okay.
man fatally shot during a police-led
1 second.
just for you. Firefighters and emergency in the community of Gutters. The deceased has been identified as Oral Foster, otherwise called Cartel. Police say the operation took place around 4:30 Friday morning in Mountain Valley, where officers went to execute a warrant at Foster's home.
Georgia.
Investigators report that officers were allegedly met with gunfire and returned fire. Foster was fatally shot and a firearm was reportedly seized during the operation. The incident is under investigation. Meanwhile, police in St. Thomas are searching for gunmen following a late-night shootout with officers.
No, sir. Here there.
Reports indicate that around 10:20 Thursday night, members of the St. Thomas Highway Patrol observed a white Toyota Noah speeding along Albion Main Road in the Yallis area. After the vehicle failed to stop, a chase ensued. Upon reaching White Horses, 3 men reportedly exited the vehicle and opened fire on police. Officers returned fire and the suspects fled on foot into nearby bushes along Hamburg Lane and Stanmore Lane. No injuries have been reported. The search for the gunman continues tonight.
Then somebody can have shootout with officers. Most of the time when you guys do shootout with officers, you guys will never win, right? And the last time I checked. Nevertheless, we get to understand that Kizzy and Kiprich. I don't know if I have this in my phone. Sometimes it's good to put up the pictures of whom I'm speaking about. 1 second. Let me see if I could find it. If I can't find it, 1 second. Let's see if I could find it. If I can't find it, then I'm just going to go about my business. So we get to understand that Kizzy, I don't know if I could find it, man. They've been in my phone for a while. The last time I put up their picture, so I don't know if I have it or not. It's not in my phone right now. Let's see. 1 second, guys, if I could find it. If not... All right. Never mind. I'm going to just freelance it and talk about it. So we get to understand that Kizzy and Kiprich lost their baby. Our heart and soul goes out to them. Remember I said to you guys that babies are sacred? Remember I tell you when you're pregnant, it's best that you don't let no one knows about it? Remember I said so? Remember I tell you that people, eyes has power, especially when it comes to evil. You see, when you're pregnant as a woman nowadays days, you got to make sure that it's sacred. You keep that shit off the internet. Yeah? You see, when you're pregnant and you go in public, you don't let no one touch your stomach. You don't eat from anyone. You don't drink from anyone. All right? You be careful what you take from people, especially when you're pregnant. So I would say I'm not surprised of the endowment that you guys put on those two couple. But what it was so disturbing and troubling for me, when the hurricane passed through, or the storm, Kiprich was out here delivering so much food for all type of people. When he was delivering the food, he never cared if they were rich, if they had Benz, if they had BMW, if they were wealthy, if they were poor, if they were ghetto. He didn't care. He was out there on his truck. Him and Kizzy, 1 and 2 times we saw Kizzy, and they were out there giving back to the community. Kiprich come out here with all kind of car, all kind of good things and all these things. But remember, a lot of people have good cars and the car is not paid for. A lot of people have good things and still owe the bank. A lot of people have good things and their credit card are maxed out. A lot of people have good things and can't find out the payment at the end of the month. So is it materialistic make you guys blighting that you guys gonna help fast enough with the child than to shut down the couple and say maybe, maybe not, maybe she pregnant, maybe not, maybe she pregnant, maybe not? I knock on wood that if one day that I have to come on this social media and beg, that's why I always say to you guys, if you have a job, make sure you guys have benefit at the job. And if you have a paycheck, make sure you save for the little bit for the rainy day. And if you have your credit, you make sure you keep that in par. Because you see, when everything go wrong, those are the things that you're going to turn to. Your benefits, your savings, and your credit card. And if you do have credit cards, you make sure you attach to it the insurance plan that they always ask you when they give you the credit card. If you're not working, can we help you pay for it? Make sure you have all of those things on your credit card, because there's a benefit that come with your card. If you're not working and you're out of job, some of your bills then will continue to pay. Save your money for the rainy day. Wicked people are out here, and even if they help you, they don't have no good intention. So nobody remember the kindness of Kiprich, sharing out and handing out in the storm, in the wicked hurricane, but they remember right now when he was in need. Then we also talk about when you're pregnant about 6 to 7 months, you have to ease up on the rough having sex. You know, having sex rough, you got to be mindful, because you could also rupture one part where the baby will also come. You understand? When you're pregnant and you're 6 months, 7 months, you got to take it easy. Almost bed rest. You got to take it easy. Lots of women are active, and lots of women, as soon as they get active, the baby will come prematurely. Lots of women carry babies more to their back. Lots of babies carry more down. So a lot of times things happen, especially when you're going to come out here with your pregnancy on the internet. We saw another mother, pregnant on the internet, had her baby, sick, end up in the hospital, and we saw what played out on the internet. Even her continent pads were on the internet. So we know when it comes to black folks, some of yous are not great when it comes to empathy, sympathy, and even have any love. You guys are lacking of it. I cannot blame you guys, because some of you guys grow without it. So it's hard to show it now in your adulthood. In your adult sin. It's hard for you guys to share that now. So the way you guys go at a parent who was hoping, who was begging the Lord to keep their child, was so wrong. But I'm not surprised. You guys been out here showing you guys colors for a long time. So I don't understand how Kiprich thought you guys would have gave him some empathy and sympathy. And you know what's so disturbing and troubling about that? When the baby passed on, the amount of reap and condolences was more than the GoFundMe. Kiss my teeth and pass. Then when it comes to his bitter Indian mixing baby mother, she's something else. You can look at that girl and see witch all over. You can look at that girl and see that her hand is mixed up in all kind of things that she's not supposed to mix up in. Look at her and see. That man been with you for so long and the man move on and gone. And when you hear the man come out and him say him pregnant another woman, you come out with a whole heap of nonsense. whole heap of bacchanal you came out with, and you dope yourself and you carry on, and then you add insult to injury. Oh, I didn't know she was really pregnant. My condolences. Demon, move from here. Come down quietly. So that's why you have to keep your pregnancy off of the internet. If I'm knocked up now, you guys will never know until I have that baby. Until 3, 4, 5 months later, when my baby is okay, then we'll come and talk. And say, guys, see stroller here. Guys, see car seat here. Guys, see onesie here. Guys, see sleepers here. If I'm pregnant now, you would never know. Pregnancy is sacred. Pregnancy is sacred. You have stories where people are pregnant on the internet, and because of evil eye and wickedness, her baby was cut out of her. I could come back with so many stories where a woman was on the internet with her baby, and somebody went to her house and cut out the baby and take it from her. There's many stories like that. So be careful of the green-eyed monster. You see what people have their thought within them? It will manifest. And you see, when it's more than one, people manifest hate and negativity and wickedness to your newborn, to your precious one that cannot defend themselves when it comes to spirituality. You're bound to lose that child. And you're bound to end up having that child dead. People are wicked out here. And remember the energy that they put in the universe. It's not easy. The universe is not going to come out and say, oh yeah, it's keep rich and kizzy. When the universe wrap up that negative energy and start to swing it, our baby get licked. Because the people them out here are evil. So be mindful how you tread out here in these times. People don't have no empathy, no sympathy. You understand? People don't have no empathy and sympathy. And if they do pour out their last dime and give you, remember later on in life, they're coming back to come tell you how they helped you. People don't help because they want to help because of love. They help because of good name. They help because they want to be an item. They help because they want a place to belong. So when it comes to the Kip, Rich, and Kizzy, you guys were so wrong. Because he had his own money out here helping the public when the public was in need. He was out here giving away flour, rice, whatever he was out here giving away. He didn't have to. He could have kept that money to himself. And with all of the people that donate in Jamaica, whose name came on top? Shensia. So how when everybody did push their boots to the metal and donating, the only person that really made it in the news was really Shensia. Because girl was out here with her generator and girl was out here with many things. Although other people donate. You understand? So we got to be mindful in life. Where are you guys' condolences according to when it comes to empathy and sympathy? Where are you guys' love and brotherly and sisterly love? You guys don't have any. And that's why the world will never be a better place. And that's why the black community could never come together. That's why we're so dispersed. That's why anybody can come in and take away everything, our culture. Take away everything that we build upon. Even our generational wealth. Because we're not concrete on our feet. And we're not built together. And we don't know togetherness. And we're all lacking of love. And empathy and sympathy. In a time like that. Why mom don't know if her baby is going to make it through. Her premature baby. You guys are out here. I wonder if she's pregnant. I wonder if it's a hoax. I wonder if it's a prank. I wonder if she need money to do her body and her breast. All of these things. And let me tell you something again. You see all of these body and breast what you guys are doing? Not only that, you guys' health is going to be a problem. Having a baby with all of that within Anya is also going to be a problem. Be mindful of all of these silicone and all of these chemicals, bleaching cream, and all of these things that you guys are doing to yourself. It maybe don't harm you, but it can harm something within you. Remember, all of those things are seeping within your skin. So until we can be black and strong to be black and proud to be black, then at the end of the day, we cannot even keep on walking. We can't even say, if you can fly, then run. If you can run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep on moving forward. When are we going to continue to move forward, black folks? When are we going to continue to keep it together? When? So at the end of the day, guys, like I said, I'm not going to drag this out anymore, to be honest. We also want to highlight some things. Lika, Ike, Lika, Ike. We get to understand that if she win the Grammy, it means a lot because she up against a lot of people. And if Ike, Lika, Ike win the Grammy, then it's going to be a good look, they claim, for Jamaica. Although you guys put her under the LGBTQQQQQ, she's out here still in the music, a beat on a bad. Seriously. From there also, we also want to talk about some other things, which I think maybe I'm going to like literally kiss my teeth and pass, to be honest. All right? If I can't find it, I am going to go about my business. All right? We also want to talk about, I don't remember where it was. All right? I think it's this one here. All right? We want to talk about this lady. So this lady, Florida most influential and a black woman in business in the industry in the United States, Jamaican Mayor of Lauderdale, Dennis Grant, has been named the Legacy Magazine of 2025 as a black lady, them claim. So we have to hit that to the mark of black history right there. A lot of women nowadays days don't have these kind of job. Breast, body, selling front. You understand? That's where they stop and pick up the Asian trick that they had us out in a Hollywood when they didn't want to give us any roles. Being a hooker, being a crackhead, selling fronts. When that is not good enough, they said that we're hard to deal with. Aggressive, dunce, dumb, illiterate, and all of these things that they throw on us. So we gotta be mindful. So when you see sisters like this come out here, you gotta highlight it at a time in black history. I could have highlighted this other times, but this is the right time to highlight that. Okay, guys? So I'm gonna hop off of this quick and fast and say, happy Monday, Okay? We say hello Monday. It's Monday morning. And we're going to also move on, guys, and say thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. We also want to big up this sister. She played lots of cartoon character like the Rugrat and many others. And you guys won't even know that she's the one who played all of this. So in Black History Time, again, we're going to pull her out. She played lots of cartoon characters, if you didn't know. Rugrat and all of them. Let me see if I could find it quick and fast and jump off of this. All right? So, 1 second. 1 second, people. Let's see if I could find it. Remember, she came out in celebrating Black excellence in Rugrats and before, all right? And she's on many cartoon characters that she played. Okay? Lots of many cartoon characters she played and stuff like that. Okay? So we always, Cara Michelle, we always have to say, let me try to take off this for a second. Give me a second. 1 second. You got that shit on your head. What are you talking about? Her scarf? That lady been wearing her scarf, and her scarf is a religion purpose. So when you have a religious purpose scarf, you cannot go there and bother her, especially that the judge didn't say anything. You have Indian people out here wear her hijab. Black people been wearing scarf way before the Indian people them come out here with their hijab and all of these things. And remember, at the end of the day, when you think about it, when they go to airports and go to other places, you can't tell them to take it off. So why should you tell a black woman that was in history from a long time before slavery days to take off her scarf when that's her religion? We gotta be mindful out here. Why everybody else is allowed to wear their religion piece, but not black folks? We gotta be mindful. This topic is touchy, but we gotta be mindful. And remember, she wrapped up her case. The trial was over. So she wasn't in front of the judge. The judge never told the police them to come take her out of the courtroom. She was in an interview room. Her trial was wrapped up, and she was wrapping up her day. It was the end of the day. So they have no right. When it comes to slavery and when it comes to discrimination and when you have that thing in your mind that black folks just only belong in the jail system and not the justice system, it's wrong. Okay? So I'm going to literally kiss my teeth and pass because I'm already done with that story. That's another content that I did a couple days ago. Go look at it. Move on because I already move on. Seriously. But nevertheless, people, we're going to show this because of Black history. Yes? Give me a second. 1 second. So I'm going to take her off the screen. 1 second. So she played lots of character. And she made it in the Black History for 2025. So we have to shout out that black sister that I just showed you. She's part of the Rugrats and many other, characters that she played as a black woman. And you wouldn't even know that. Okay, guys? And like I said, at the end of the day, we just have to show these things. All right? So when people are going to talk about situations, we got to be mindful because every day people out here pushing their religion to get all kind of money. And when they hide, they're not wearing those things when they're out inside of their home. A lot of people come outside in the public and say, I'm Native Indian, I am this, I am that. And they're not. And where the root cause really come from and where that really stem from in Black History Day and in African days when black women used to wear their scarves on their head and cover up and all of those kind of things. So we're going to be truthful. You cannot be in a courthouse where the lady trials are already wrapped up. The judge never told her you to escort her out the door. She's not in front of the judge. Her trial already wrapped up and she's in an interview room. A room that you meet your client. A room that you wrap up your paperwork. A room that you sit down and wrap up. She has a right to put on her scarf, her hat, her gloves, even her boots. Okay? And I'm going to bring back the story to you guys and watch if they don't have to go and pay her more than what she's going to ask for. You violate her Charter of Rights and we're not going to sit for that. It's not every black woman supposed to be behind bars. She's a different defense lawyer, and without this good defense lawyer out here, we in the black community at times will be at shackles. So I am not going to be on the bandwagon that she have that shit on her head. No. Because there's other people out here have stuff on their head and get away with it way before us. So people have rights out here. So what about our rights? We're going to be mindful. Not picking up for her. But at the end of the day, beating her, slamming her head on the desk, giving her a bloody face, and bring her in the back of the cell, it's not a good look. Those things are called slavery. The way I see it, violating her Charter of Rights, should I shout? In other words, okay? But nevertheless, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. I got to run. It's Monday, and you guys don't know that business, work as always, and I got to pay the business. I got to pay attention to the business that pays me. You understand? So like I said, happy Monday. This is your Monday morning reminder that you can handle whatever this week throws at you. Happy Monday. Happy Black History if you celebrate it. And just remember, let's reflect. Not only on Black History, but on our blackness overall. The way we go out there in public, the way we perceive each other, the way we behave in public, the way we carry on, the way that we don't have any brother-in-love, sister-in-love, and the togetherness that we need. At the end of the day, guys, peace and love. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And don't forget, like I said, I'm trying to come like how I always come. Like last month, I used to come around this time or earlier to come and put the content on you guys. Like I said, if you guys don't see a content, that means I don't have an important content to come and talk about. If you guys want something to play with, then I will drop it on my videos. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 this, 1 and 2 that. If I don't have anything in my videos, I post something in the posts. Check it out. And if I don't put anything there, then I do my shorts. Until we meet again, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Happy Monday. Peace and love.